Also breaking tonight, one of the most chaotic meetings in Dalton that we've seen yet. Police had to stop it from getting physical.
Let's get right to political reporter Paris Schutz and the showdown between Lori Lightfoot and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations because the truth matters. I am Leroy Truth. And Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of that Chicago suburb there, is the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. And boy, do I have a treat for you. This is the latest meeting that went into total chaos, where Tiffany Henyard, she fired previous mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, who I wouldn't have her in charge of a daycare for iguanas, let alone investigating another corrupt mayor. But Tiffany didn't want her investigating, so she said, no, 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 you can't do that. But the board in charge over there, working with Tiffany Henyard, said no. They voted 4-2. They want Lori Lightfoot to do this deep, special, expert investigation. And the meeting erupted into chaos. Now, one thing I want to note, everybody, you notice how many people are speaking up against the mayor? Lots. How many speak up against most other mayors? 0. That's why you got a problem. Or 1, or 2. Or you rely on someone like me or other activists to do the speaking for you. And we are happy to lead that charge. I am happy to lead that charge. But you, the members of the community, have got to step up and do your part. Fact. Why is Tiffany Henyard going to eventually be indicted and go to jail most likely? It's because the people at large spoke up. One person started, and then more and more and more did. And you got to do that everywhere. Every municipality where you see corruption, don't rely on other people to speak up for you. You got to be part of the solution. And if you just sit back and say, well, someone else is going to do it, then you got 1, 2 people speaking up. And that's not going to change most situations. So watch this. This is absolutely crazy.
Also breaking tonight, one of the most chaotic meetings in Dalton that we've seen yet. Police had to stop it from getting physical.
Let's get right to political reporter Paris Schutz and the showdown between Lori Lightfoot and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Paris.
Dawn and Scott, that showdown is continuing outside of Dalton Village Hall. Trustees voted 4-2 to override Mayor Henyard's veto and reinstate Mayor Lori Lightfoot's investigation into Henyard's spending into that 2023 trip to Las Vegas. And as you mentioned...
Now, I want you to note something, everyone. There are so many people there. And Tiffany Henyard, being the dictator that she is, she tried to prevent people from coming into the meeting. And you have a long line of people who couldn't get in here.
And soon after that vote, things just broke down into utter chaos. Multiple sides shouting obscenities at each other. Cops had to step in and break it up. This is right after Henyard and her allies.
I like the T-shirts. They even have T-shirts there. You all going to jail. And that is directed, of course, at Tiffany Henyard, Dalton.
Tried to block Lightfoot from getting up and making some brief remarks. Eventually, Lightfoot got her mic turned on, and here's a little bit of what she had to say.
Thank you. What I will say is that it's an honor to be working on behalf of the residents of Dalton. We have not arrested one of them.
You was once a mayor, too. You should not even be disrespectful like that.
That's sad. Obstruct our ability to get to the facts.
Clear the room. Clear the room. Clear the room, guys. This means adjourn. Everybody out.
And that's Tiffany Dalton, mayor, telling everyone, telling the police officers, clear the room, clear the room. We can't have politicians that aren't courageous enough to hear the people. Fact. Otherwise, that would be called a dictatorship. We need to be able to petition the government. It is in the First Amendment, ladies and gentlemen, and no one should be cleared out at this meeting. She needs to hear the truth, and she needs to be legally run out of office as soon as humanly possible.
So 2 hours of absolute contention here. Lots of residents voicing their...
But I want to note something. Look at how well she's dressed. I love the contrast of the yellow, and it really contrasts with her hair so beautifully. She's all about the flash and the sizzle, but has a incredible roaring river of corruption underneath that from everything I've seen and learned of her.
Concerns. Earlier today, Mayor Henyard had the block in front of Village Hall cordoned off, making it very difficult for folks to get here, especially if you were senior or disabled. So Lightfoot's investigation, at least according to trustees, is back on now. It's going to focus into Henyard's spending of village resources, as well as that 2023 trip to Las Vegas. And Henyard doesn't believe the investigation is legal.
She doesn't believe it's legal. But is it warranted? Absolutely. Now, I want you to note also that she made it difficult for people to get into the meeting, especially seniors and people in wheelchairs and so forth. This is the most disgusting, despicable behavior. And I can't wait until she is legally run out of her office. And something to know here, ladies and gentlemen, is these people at the meeting, the residents of the meeting, they got off their butts. They're not watching the latest Netflix series on whatever it may be. And they're here. These are true Americans. Every one of these men and women here, they are an example for every single community. And just use yourself as an example. If you don't like the mayor in your city or town, what are you going to do about it? Watching these videos isn't enough. It's a start. We expose this information. And then it's up to you to take it to that next level to petition your government as guaranteed by the First Amendment and get them recalled or whatever needs to happen. Get the FBI involved, state agencies involved to investigate the corruption of mayors. And it's endemic. It's everywhere, all across America. These are not isolated incidents. This is more the norm than not. And I'm going to be super clear. There are some very good men and women who are mayors and councilmen and councilwomen and so forth. But there are many who are not. And we cannot allow them to continue in office. And if they do, it's our fault. If these particular people didn't, after meeting after meeting after meeting, demand accountability and an investigation into this mayor, she'd be there for the next 20, 30 years. It's your fault, it's my fault if we don't get involved. So these particular people are a great example of true Americans, petitioning their government and holding Mayor Tiffany Henyard accountable.
Now, residents lined up hours before the meeting. They got in, they packed the Village Hall, and they let their feelings about Mayor Henyard be known.
Yeah, you're not going to understand until they put those cuffs on you. You're not going to understand it. You don't care. But, baby, they on.
Look at her face. She's looking down. She's writing. What is she doing? Playing tic-tac-toe? She's writing a little stick figure of a little kitty cat or something? Look at the person talking with you. That is the ultimate disrespect. And you know what? There should be a law that we should pass. Anytime a mayor or a politician of any type refuses to look directly into the eyes of a person petitioning the government, they are immediately booted out of office. Boom, gone. Disrespect of the American people cannot be tolerated, period.
To you.
It is a shame that we, the public, can't ask you anything about the BMWs, the Range Rovers, all of that. It's like you're keeping all of that hidden from the taxpayers, and we pay for it.
Whoa. Any of you want to become mayor of Dalton? Get a BMW, you get a Range Rover? That's just what we know about. Free trips to Las Vegas, all those great clothes, all those billboards with our picture on it, all these phenomenal makeup and all kinds of hair styling she gets. It costs lots of money. Lots of perks there to become mayor of Dalton.
You guys are following fiction, a made-up story. It is a smear campaign going on right now. People are using.
They always say that it's a smear campaign. It's political. No, it's reality, lady. You done wrong. You broke the law. You're going to be held accountable. You're going to be doing time in prison. You won't be wearing those pretty outfits anymore. But you're going to try to deflect away from your actual actions and try to kill the messengers, the exposers of your criminality. Typical playbook of mayors.
So as you can see right outside Dalton Village Hall here on MLK Drive in the village of Dalton, residents still fuming, still voicing their concerns to police officers. Police officers had to keep the peace as the meeting erupted into chaos. But the news out of this meeting, trustees vote 4-2 against Mayor Henyard. They reinstate Lightfoot's investigation into things that the FBI is also probing right now. A lot of things happening here in Dalton, and Dawn and Scott will continue to follow it in the days to come, but now we go back to you.
Tiffany Henyard, Leroy Truth Investigation. Stop talking and listen, resign, confess your sins. You're out of here. My question is, what are you going to do peacefully, legally, lawfully to hold your mayor or your councilmen, councilwomen accountable? If it is to be, it's up to me. I learned that many years ago. If it is to be, it's up to you. God bless you all. Appreciate your support. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel here. I'll see you very soon on my next video.